Hello everybody, some kind of cyborg here, back bringing you another quick and easy Elden Ring guide. So today I'm not going to go into crazy amounts of detail because the weapon upgrade system is something I want to explore more in depth on a later video. I'm just going to be quickly showing you where to go to get your whetstone knife and your very first Ashes of War. So first of all, Ashes of War are essentially modifiers you can attach to weapons to imbue them with additional skills and change the scaling of the weapon. So veterans to the Soul series will probably know what I mean by scaling, but for those new to the series, it essentially means how much benefit a specific weapon gets. For example, if you look at the attribute scaling of your weapon from the equipment screen, you will see that there are various letters attached to certain attributes. So an A in strength and an E in dexterity, for example, means that your weapon is going to heavily benefit from investing in the strength stat. That's going to pump its damage up considerably, whilst pumping points into dexterity would only allow for very meager gains. Ashes of War have various attribute affinities when you attach them to weapons. They will always imbue some kind of skill should the weapon allow it. However, you can also opt to change the attribute scaling for a specific weapon that you attach it to. So the Ashes of War, if I attach that to my sword, I can just straight up have it not change the attributes and just infer the ability. However, it can also confer a quality attribute scaling. And what that means is it's going to balance out the strength and dexterity of the weapon. And that's going to benefit builds that pump points into both strength and dexterity equally. If it sounds a little confusing at first, well, honestly, that's because it can be, especially for a new player. As you progress through the story, however, you will pick up various armaments that have different attribute scalings. So if you're going for a mage build, for example, you're probably going to be looking for weapons that scale hard off of intelligence, and that's going to boost the damage of the weapon significantly. If you're going for a strength build, then you're going to want to look for strength scaling weapons. Ashes of War are a tool which can help refine your weaponry and put it more in line with the kind of class that you ultimately want to build towards. That being said, if you simply like the ability that the Ashes of War infer to your weapon, you can just go for that instead and opt to not have it change the attribute scaling qualities of said weapon. I will be breaking this down in more depth in my smithing and upgrading video, which will be coming a little further down the line. But for now, all you need to know is the ability cool? Is it better than the base ability of the weapon that I'm attaching it to? And at the end of the day, that's all that's going to matter in the early game. For more min-maxy players, however, and more experienced players, it might be worth looking into whether the Ashes of War do confer some kind of attribute scaling that is more in line with where your character is at in their progression. So I'm going to be showing you where to go to unlock the whetstone knife now, as well as the first Ashes of War. And where you're going to want to head for that is the gate front camp. So it's a large camp surrounded by guards and wolves, as well as two stagecoaches with chests in them that actually will give you a greatsword as well as a flail weapon. Once you've cleared out the residence, you're going to want to head down some stairs that are tucked out of the way within the camp. In there's a treasure chest where you're going to find your whetstone knife as well as your first Ashes of War. To equip the ashes is a simple enough affair. You don't need any materials or components beyond the ashes themselves. You don't need anything like that. Simply head to the nearest site of grace. You'll see an option on the menu for Ashes of War. Click this, and this is where you're going to equip your Ashes of War to your equipment. You can only have one Ashes of War equipped to equipment at a time, and if you only have one of that particular Ash of War, you can only have that one equipped. So say you're swapping it between a few different weapons, it's going to remove it from whichever weapon had it, and then apply it to your new one. There are methods later in the game to duplicate Ashes of War, and you can come across doubles out in the wild, but for now you're only going to have the one, so really think about what you're going to want to equip it to. And there you go, a very, very quick and easy one for you, just showing you where to get it, and giving you the general gist of how these Ashes of War actually play out. If you enjoyed the video or found it at all helpful, please do consider leaving a like. And until the next one, folks, take care and peace out.